fuck's up. I know. 3 in a row. I just wanted to do another one, alright? Don't fucking come after me. Where do we start, dude? I had so many thoughts rushing through my brain. I'm just gonna lay it out. I think I'm gonna stop eating processed foods altogether. Not think, I am. Because to me, it really... Alright, I guess I should lay it out. So the past few podcasts, obviously, I've talked about it a little bit. And then, so I finished that podcast I'd been talking about yesterday. And then I started their book. And I wasn't gonna start it. I was gonna be like, I'm not gonna listen to that book. And I forgot. I chose the perfect shirt for this fucking podcast. I didn't even know it. I put it on this morning. Let's get together and feel alright, okay? But besides that, let's fucking get into my Audible account. It's called Good Energy, The Surprising Connection Between Metabolism and Limitless Health by Casey Means, medical doctor, with Callie Means as her brother. Jesus. I just dropped my phone. God damn it. Listen, anything I say in here, obviously I'm not a medical doctor, okay? I just learned shit. Let me put my pacifier in. So, this book is essentially talking about how what we're all experiencing. I was trying to get this point across, but I was sick and I was feeling like shit and I could not fucking get it out there as I wanted it to. Plus, I remembered a few things from yesterday that I had forgotten. So, essentially, we're all suffering from metabolic dysfunction. We are eating shitty food, putting shitty things into our body, and that is resulting in a shitty body, okay? The best idea I heard today, and I've been talking about this, I've been saying it, but today, this book just hit me different. Read the book. Seriously, read the book. Or listen to it if you need to. That's what I'm doing, is listening. I'm about halfway through, I think. Got about halfway to go, and I'll finish the other half tomorrow. But she's a doctor, I said that, and she had been practicing. I'll just give a little rundown of what the fuck's going on. So she and her brother, shit, let me grab some water, god damn it, sorry. I told you this wasn't professional. Alright. This isn't professional, it's just me and you, dude. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, I'm just talking. I don't know how the camera works, I don't know how any of that shit works, I'm just here talking. Alright? So what happened was, her and her brother had been grown up in Washington and had been taught to go after all the things that, like, basically never go against these certain industries, do all this shit right. So they were brought up very structured, okay? And then she had gone into being a doctor. I had forgot what he'd done. I won't lie. Maybe I'll remember tomorrow. But she had gone into being a doctor. And I learned from the podcast that, and from the book now, but their mom had gotten pancreatic cancer. And she had died. And they had said it came out of nowhere. And that's how most cancers come up, right? They're like, every day you're great, and then one day cancer just pops up and you fucking die, right? That's how most of them happen. Well, what this is talking about is that she had realized that if you had taken a step back and looked at all the things that had led up to that, high blood pressure, this, symptoms pop up, but then you just get treated for them. High blood pressure, here's a medication. I'm depressed, here's a medication. You just get medications for all these problems, and you don't. What she's basically saying is that we don't focus on the entire organism itself, and Gabor Mate has said that as well. And he researches trauma and shit, and he's also a medical doctor. So both these doctors now are saying that the medical system itself does not look at the full organism. It looks at, and it doesn't. It sectionalizes these pieces off. We've talked about that before. You got the ear, nose, and throat guy. You got that guy. You got this guy. You got that guy. All these fucking different specialists you got to go see. None of them talk to each other. I just found that out. None of them talk to each other. This guy doesn't know what med he put you on. That guy doesn't know what med this is. They're just giving you medicine. I'm telling you, you go on your merry fucking way. And what she had stopped and realized was that all these fucking things leading up to her mom's pancreatic cancer had been a result of metabolic dysfunction, which is eating mostly processed foods. Listen, the way she put it was, we're 3D printed out of food, right? Your body's literally created out of food in the womb. Your mom's eating, and then the human body turns that nutrients, turns that fucking, all that shit into a human fucking body, dude. And then what you put in after that is what you're choosing to build your body out of. Your body is constantly building itself. And so the food are basically the building blocks of our body, right? And then our gut microbiome turns that food into medicine, okay, for the body, okay? And so if you're eating bullshit and you're fucking putting bullshit in all the time, then you're not only fucking building your body out of bullshit. If you're a woman, you're building your child's body out of bullshit. But also, your fucking cells are not getting the medication that they need from the food, the vitamins, the nutrients, all the things that we've been getting all these years. It's literally depriving the cell of energy. That's why so many people report low energy. We're depriving ourselves of life, literally. There's no way other than put it. Like, we're deprived by eating these foods and drinking alcohol, putting these poisons in our body. We're depriving ourselves of life. And that may sound like a great idea to some people, because you may be down in your fucking luck. You may be depressed. You may be this. You may be that. Shit may be going on. But listen, unless you fucking seriously hone yourself into, like, what your body and your mind and your spirit is supposed to be, then how the fuck are you supposed to know if it's not a result of what the fuck you're putting in? And it not necessarily has to be, but a lot of these chronic diseases are a result of these fucking foods. High blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, all these things, bro, are a result of eating these shitty foods for so long that your body, it's basically, the way I thought about it was, you're basically, Jesus, I'm still got a stuffy nose, just give me a second. You basically are playing God with the human body, and the human body is a super organism. It's an intelligent organism in its own right. We didn't always have this human mind. Our body had intelligence way before our mind had intelligence. Our mind's only been around 200,000 to 2 million years. Our body's been around hundreds of thousands of years, running through the fucking forests and the fucking swimming through rivers and building boats and doing all this bullshit. Our fucking biology, dude. This is why I study this shit. It is fucking awesome. It's way more. I don't need to read any fiction books. I watch movies and shit, but I don't need to, because everything I need is in real life. I can look at all this crazy shit and all this chaos and be like, oh, look at all this fucking shit going on, dude. Because that was one of the main reasons I had gotten depressed myself, is because everybody makes it seem like everything's figured out. Oh, don't question this. Don't do that. You just gotta go do this, do that, and then fucking that's it. Don't question anything. Just do it. And I don't like that. I question it. And I'm like, why? Why the fuck are we doing it like this? Why? And there's evidence just compiling. That's what I meant yesterday by the things I've been learning the past 5 years. This book is essentially an accumulation of that, because Gabor Mate's work talks about this. The Body Keeps Score. The Hunter-Gatherer's Guide to the 21st Century. There's all these books coming out that are like, hey, we're not living as our bodies are intended to live. And the more we ignore this, the longer this shit goes on. The longer we feel fucked up. The longer we have no power. We literally have no power. We're depriving ourselves of the energy that our cells need to make the power. The way she also described it in this book was that the inside of our body's dark. And if you've never looked at like medical videos or none of this shit like that, I look at this shit, alright? Because it's fascinating. Immediately I thought, oh, she's right, because every time they go into your body, they have a light on that machine or on that camera to go into your body and look at shit and look around, because your body is a pitch black environment. Your cells don't have sensory organs. They don't have shit. Your cells, our bodies. Okay, I gotta slow down. So a cell is literally just a bunch of other things. Well, let me Google this just so I don't fuck it up, because it's cool as fuck. All right. Oh yeah, we learned about this in biology, what a cell's made out of. Interesting. So a cell is just a bunch of... We learned this in biology class. There's the nucleus and the cell membrane and all this other bullshit, right? We learned this in fucking... Holy shit. We're actually using something we learned from high school. Can you look at that? That's insane. But... The food gives like nutrients, vitamins, all the things the cell needs, the powerhouse, the mitochondria needs to fucking use the... Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, talking too fast. I'm getting excited. What I'm trying to say is food becomes energy for the mitochondria, which becomes the powerhouse of the cell, like we learned in biology, gives energy to the cell to do its job, okay? And that's why she had this thing that she had said, and it's kind of two statements she made together, or not together, two separate statements that I had mashed together in my brain. Essentially, she was saying that our body is made out of, our body is 3D printed out of food, okay? And then, so if, obviously, okay. Our body is 3D printed out of food. And then her other one was that if you're a construction worker and you're being given shitty materials, then you're expected to build a mansion or like a giant chapel for the fucking church or whatever the fuck you gotta build with these materials. But you're given these shitty ass materials that barely hold together. They're falling apart, dude. They're fucking rotten wood, bullshit ass metal. You're getting this shit material that you have to build this fucking giant mansion or chapel or whatever the fuck it is out of. The chapel or whatever the fuck it's gonna be is look like shit. It's gonna feel like shit inside. It's gonna be falling apart, dude. It's gonna be a fucking wreck. And that's what the fuck we're doing to our bodies. That's my main point. Is that you give it all this shitty food. Trust me, brother. I get it. I watched a video yesterday that it was like this book, but in a short-ass video form, where this British guy, for science, had eaten unprocessed food. He had switched his diet. He was eating about 20% processed foods, and he started eating about 80% processed foods, right? And so, for about a month, he ate 80% processed foods. And in this month, his brain had wired all these connections together that weren't there before. He had gained a bunch of weight. He was almost pre-diabetic already. In a month, dude. Just from eating processed food. And eating when he wanted to. Because the thing about these processed foods is, it turns off your satiation chemical. And it also makes it so you're always hungry. So not only are you never satiated, you're always hungry. So that means you're always eating. They've weaponized the food against us, dude. That's my main point. It's a drug now. It's not food anymore. It's a fucking drug that they're giving us and weaponizing against us. We look at all these fucking drug addicts and all these motherfuckers on the street and shit, and we're like, oh, this guy just can't keep it together. And then we go into fucking McDonald's and get our fucking fat fucking burger and goddamn French fries and all this bullshit, acting like we're moral on this moral high ground, when in reality, we're the same fucking drug addict just like this guy on the street. We just didn't trade everything. Well, we kind of do trade everything for it, especially nowadays. I won't lie. The last few times I've gotten processed food, I threw it away, a lot of it. I wasted a shit ton of money. I didn't even want it because it just didn't taste good. It wasn't great. Compared to what I can cook at home, dude, it tasted like shit. And it was fucking, it's getting smaller. It's costing more. It was not even worth it. And yet I sat there. I sat at Culver's for my example. I had gotten a shit ton of food, dude, just because it was my old circuits flaring up. I used to get tons of food. Just shit tons of food and eat like a fucking goddamn monster for no goddamn reason. Because I was a fat ass kid. I loved to eat. It was just what I grew up on. And I know it's what a lot of people grow up on. And I was sitting there in Culver's and I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, I was watching all these cars stroll through the fucking drive-thru, looking how long it took. And I'm like, is this really fast food? And is it really worth it? The money, the time, the fucking cost to your body. Is it really worth it? And then I sat there and I ate the food some of the food I'd gotten. I threw a lot of it away because it was disgusting. Like, I do not want that food anymore. I don't crave it anymore. It's because my gut microbiome is changing. I don't want that shit in my body. I don't want that poison. That is my main point, is that we've been being poisoned from medicine, from food, from air, from fucking water, dude. I found out today. Let me look this up. I'll look it up for you right goddamn now because it was astounding to look up. You go to the EWG tap water website and then EWG tap water database, okay? www.ewg.org, okay? Tap water. So you click on this, right? And it says, is your water safe? This is a database of all the tap water in the country and what's in it. And it says, is it safe? And search for contamination in your drinking water, okay? So you go ahead and put in the fucking zip code that I'm in, alright? You put in your zip code to find this shit, alright? Then you could scroll down and find your water supply, okay? Listen to this shit. 5 exceeded EWG health guidelines. There's 6 total contaminants in the water that I am drinking, okay? 95 times there's, okay, these are big words, ladies and gentlemen. Bromodichloromethane is, okay, let's look at the details. It's formed when chlorine or other disinfectants are used to treat drinking water, okay? 95 times the recommended fucking healthy amount for the human body is in there, and it causes cancer. There's no legal limit on how much they can put in there. Chloroform, the shit that they use to fucking knock people out. 66 times the amount that we should be consuming. And that causes cancer. Dibromochloromethane, 11 times. No legal limit on any of these, ladies and gentlemen. Radium. It's a radioactive chemical. 87 times. Oh, wait, maybe it's a different kind of radium. I don't know. But there's a legal limit. There's a legal limit on how much you can have. Ooh, and it's just almost at the legal limit. That's crazy. That's insane, dude. From industry and naturally occurring. So, probably mostly industry. That's insane. Radium is it is a radioactive element. Dude, it is radioactive. I was right. It causes bone cancer and other cancers, and it can occur naturally in the groundwater. Oil and gas extraction activities such as hydraulic fracturing can elevate concentrations. So radioactive chemicals, okay? And then I didn't look at this one yet. I was on the toilet looking at this shit, I won't lie. Because I was just like, is this true? Because I was listening to the book, and she started talking. She said this really fast because I got it on like 1.5 times speed. Because I like it as a podcast. I like to turn books into podcasts where they're just talking to me. And my brain can keep up. Unless they're like talking fast already, then I slow it down. But if I go to the speed where my brain can keep up, but it's like a talking pace. So she's like, okay, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. You know what I'm saying? Because I can understand it at that pace. So she said it really quickly, and I'm like, wait a minute, what? Push the rewind button. And then it fucking went back in time, and I listened to it again, and then I searched it up really fast because I heard that it can tell you what's in the tap water. So I'm like, what? And then I looked into it, and sure as hell, here it is. Trihalomethanes are cancer-causing contaminants that form during water treatment with chlorine and other... So, the same thing. Same thing, dude. They don't have as much... What is loading, dude? Stop loading. Yeah. Causes cancer. I'm going to look up Mason City real quick. Because that's where I grew up. Not by state. I don't want to go by state. 50401. Let's check out all my Mason City folk out there. Oh my God! That's even worse! It's even worse! 16! Oh my God! What is this? What does it do? Cancer. Oh. That's pretty insane. 16. 16. I'm gonna text. I gotta text Cheese real quick. God damn it. Mason's water has 16 I'm not even going to tell him. I'm not going to tell him. I don't want to freak him out. I don't want to freak anybody out, but this is serious, dude. So, yeah, our water's being poisoned as well. It's wild. It's absolutely insane to me. And I don't know how to get out of it. I know somewhat how to get out of it. My brain's finding ways. I've been thinking about this all day. I don't want to be poisoned anymore. Air's kind of tricky. Air is tricky. Because unless you have a proper filter somewhere, then it's kind of tricky. But, and plus you can't filter out the air all the time. That's the problem. Unless you're wearing like a filtering mask or some shit. It's like, and I'm not doing all that. Water, food, and like shit we use, like like ointments and shit, medicine. That shit can be at least like. What I'm thinking is we cannot fucking get rid of it completely. All right, not yet. We're working on it. Hopefully, things turn. People are starting to get educated. We're starting to turn shit around. Alright, I'm having faith. So obviously we can't eliminate this shit out of us completely. Not yet. Not without proper financial resources and shit like that. So we should be limiting it, at least. That's my thought. So we should limit this stuff at least. Because that's the fucking intelligent thing to do. Because if you choose to live, if you want to be alive, And I know some people, they're like, oh, I want to die and shit sucks and all this shit. And yeah, it does suck sometimes. You want to be alive. Trust me. That's the number one thing people who go and kill themselves report. Like, you jump off a bridge and you survive, you shoot yourself, you survive. Any of that shit. Number one report, I regret that I tried to do that. And they're glad they're alive. Okay? So you want to be alive. Okay? But you want to be alive in the best manner possible. That's my main point. And speaking of intelligence, I don't think humans know what intelligence is. I realized this today while talking to one of my homies. It's kind of wild. Because we sit here and, like, I wasn't like thinking about anybody else but myself. Because who the fuck else do I have to base this on? But my own brain judges things like, oh, this is smart, this is stupid, this is that. But we don't really know. Like, if you look at intelligence, it's an amount of intelligence at its most basic form is information, right? Somebody who gathers information or seeks information or goes after information is considered intelligent, right? That's just like universally accepted. Whoever retains more information, that's just universally accepted as intelligence. So, if something that retains information is intelligence, and it doesn't have to be the same kind of information either. That's the thing, because there's doctors, scientists, lawyers, all these different fields, and they're all intelligent in their own manner. But then you have different kinds of intelligence, like plant intelligence and animal intelligence and fungal intelligence. So then, those things, we recognize some of their intelligence from what we know as intelligent, but also we don't understand a lot of how they are intelligent and how they do things that they do. AI is another example. So I was thinking, who's to say a rock's not intelligent? Or this microphone's not intelligent? Or this cup? Because atoms, they have to gather this certain information to retain this form, and then our brain has to process this information to see this form as that form and to perceive it as this. So, everything is intelligent, is it not? If intelligence is information, everything stores information to a certain extent. So everything stores intelligence. That's my thought process. So we have no place as a human being to be able to decide, oh, this is not smart or this is smart. Because what the fuck do we know? We don't know. We don't know if a door is intelligent. A door, could it be intelligent? A door holds its form. It's not just falling apart. So it's holding some kind of information within that structure to keep the form as a door. So if it's holding that information, I don't know how to be a door. My atoms can't just turn into a door. So maybe that's what nanotechnology is, right? To be able to restructure something at a molecular level to turn it to something else, right? So I can't be a door, but the door can be a door. So the door has intelligence that I do not have access to. So if I had some nanotechnology that could allow me that information, maybe I could become a door. Maybe I could become a shoe. Maybe I could become those keys on over there. Maybe I could become my phone. We don't know. It's literally up for speculation, dude. We have no fucking idea. No idea. At all. Let me look at some shit. I gotta see what else I was thinking today. I had quite a few thoughts that yeah. I post on my story and I kind of probably That's crazy, dude. I'm still mind blown about the water thing. I didn't even know that website existed. I guarantee a lot of people don't know that website exists. How do we not know that website exists? How are we not taught in school, hey, here is where your water, the purity of your water, the purity of your food, the purity of your air. We should be taught these fundamentals, should we not? Where to find them? If we have access now. We need to reform our education system because this is a problem, dude. And not just the standard education system, but the medical education system, because they're just taught to throw pills at everything. And listen, it's not the doctor's fault because they don't know either. They're not taught nutrition. I didn't know this either. They're not taught nutrition. They're not taught any of this shit. And in fact, they're incentivized to do this because it brings them profit, brings them recognition, but they don't feel morally right about it. You think doctors, go to your standard doctor and ask them how many pills they're on. I guarantee it's a fucking whole slew of numbers, dude. But that's my main point. I remembered this document that I was trying to bring up yesterday, the Flexner Report. And I want to look into this. I'm going to ask AI, what is the Flexner Report? The Flexner Report is a significant document in the history of American medical and education. Published in 1910, it was written by Abraham Flexner under the auspices of the Carnegie Foundation. Wow. Rockefeller and Carnegie did this shit together. Here are the key points about the Flexner Report. Purpose. The report was commissioned to evaluate the state of medical education in the United States and Canada. At the time, medical schools varied greatly in terms of quality curriculum and scientific approach, which makes sense. I want to look at the... I need to look this up specifically. How does the Flexner Report hurt medicine? I don't know if I'm going to get banned for this either. Who cares? The closure of many medical schools, particularly those that were more open to women, African Americans, and individuals from lower economic backgrounds, resulted in a less diverse physician workforce. This has had long-term effects on the diversity within the medical profession, potentially limiting cultural competence in healthcare and access to care in underserved communities. Also, this is still followed. I want to point that out. From 1910, this is still followed. Limitation of medical philosophies. The report favored a biomedical model of health, which means throwing pills at everything rather than what is the underlying cause of this and why is it happening, which emphasizes biological factors in disease. This led to a decline in alternative medicine practices like homeopathy, naturopathy, and osteopathy at the time. While this standardized care, it also reduced the plurality of medical thought and treatment options available to patients. So we completely ignored the body, basically. And we're just like, we'll fix it all with pills. The recommendation for medical schools to be well-funded and university affiliated increased the cost of medical education. This made becoming a doctor more expensive, potentially deterring capable students who could not afford the tuition, thereby influencing the socioeconomic makeup of the physician population. I didn't know that. With fewer medical schools, training became more centralized, which might have limited the spread of medical knowledge it did, and care to rural or less urban areas where those schools might have been located. It did slow medical knowledge, but I don't know about all the urbans and shit. Over standardization. While standardization has its benefits, it can also stifle innovation in medical education. The rigid framework might not always encourage or accommodate newer, evolving methods of teaching or alternative treatments that could be beneficial. So that means they don't want to change their mind on shit, essentially. Jesus, how long is this? We're almost done. Focus on scientific research and specialization might have inadvertently shifted attention away from general practice and public health. It did. areas that are crucial for community health but often less lucrative or prestigious, meaning they don't make money off of telling us, hey, exercise, hey, sleep well, hey, what are you eating, how are your family structures? They don't profit well off these questions, because then you go and fix it yourself, and then, oh, I don't need the doctor no more. Where were we here? The report effectively created a near monopoly for allopathic medicine, the type most commonly practiced in the West, by discrediting other forms of medical practice. While this ensured a standard of care, it also meant that integrative or holistic approaches were marginalized for decades. Basically the shit I said before. The closure of local medical schools could have contributed to a shortage of doctors in rural areas, as new graduates might prefer urban settings where large, well-equipped hospitals are located. Although Flexner aimed to reduce the commercialization of medical education, the resulting system has still faced criticism for being overly influenced by pharmaceutical companies and for the high cost associated with medical care, potentially due to the expensive education and the business model of medicine that evolved post-report. Jesus, I can't read. I'm starting to get tired and hungry, I won't lie. These criticisms highlight that while the Flexner Report did much to advance the scientific rigor and standardization of medical training, it also had unintended consequences that have shaped the healthcare landscape in ways that some argued have not been entirely beneficial. That was my main point last time. I just forgot what it was called. Let's see what we're at. Podcasts aren't really hard anymore. They're kind of hard. But, I like doing them. The hardest part's setting it up and taking it down and uploading it. All that I hate. Hopefully one day I can have somebody else do that. I'll pay them good. But I don't want to do it. I just do it because I like doing this. But if I didn't have to do all, set it all up and shit, it was just always set up, that's my ideal. Eventually, I think Chance is moving up to Wisconsin next year. So what I'm going to do is probably get my own crib. And I'm probably going to set up a permanent studio. That way I could just always do it. There's just a room I can walk in and I could just do it. The lights are always good. That's what I want. I want a setup that's constant, because I've kind of got a constant one going on now, but it's not the best. I'm trying to get it not perfect. There's no perfect, but I'm trying to get it better than it is. Just improve it incrementally as I go. That's all I'm trying to do. It's a real passion of mine, I won't lie. And I think that growing mushrooms and medicinal and that's what I was going to say too, is that I don't think the Greeks meant let thy food be thy medicine, just mushrooms. It's food in general. The nutrients, the vitamins, all that shit we get from our food, like I was saying, build our body. That's what the Greeks meant by let thy food be thy medicine. Except the problem is, we let thy medicine be thy medicine now, and thy food be thy food. And we separated these two. And now it's fucking causing us problems, because our bodies are getting this artificial bullshit, and it's not working right. But, I had some notes that I had been taking today. Let me look at these. Oh, yeah. Okay. I realized today that success to me is, I was thinking about it, I'm like, okay, what is success then? What is success? To me. Because it's different to everybody. To me, success is two questions that I can ask myself at any point in life to determine whether I am successful. Am I healthy? And am I enjoying life? Not am I happy, but am I enjoying life? Not in this moment, overall, am I enjoying life? Those are two questions I can always ask myself at any moment in life to determine whether I am successful in my own regard. I don't care what anybody else thinks. I don't care. That's my definition of success. To me, that's what I'm going to do. You do your own thing. That's what I put this thing out for, dude. I don't expect anybody to care what the fuck I'm saying, to listen to me. I don't care, dude. I really don't. These are just recommendations. I don't expect anybody to listen to me and do anything I say. Like, I'm not a boss, dude. I'm just a guy. But, fuck, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. The thing I'll end this with is, if I gave you a glass of water, right? I gave you two options. A glass of water, just a normal glass of water, or a glass of water with arsenic in it, right? Which would you choose? You'd obviously choose the fucking glass of water without arsenic. So the fact that we don't know what's in our water, we don't know what's in our food, we don't know what's in our air, we don't know what's in our medicine that's poisoning us. And this might get taken down, obviously, but I'll post it somewhere else. But we don't know. We don't know. We have no idea. But if I gave you the conscious choice, you'd obviously choose the latter. Or the water without, obviously, because that's what a rational person would do. That's what I'm choosing to do now. I don't care how people look at me. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm done drinking alcohol. I'm going to avoid as much processed bullshit as I can, because I know it's not going to happen entirely. But what I can limit, I will. And I'm going to. Just because I don't want to do that to myself. My thought is we've been poisoning ourselves our entire lives, unknowingly. And now we have the knowledge at our disposal and the information to show, and the statistics and the facts and the studies to show us, hey, this is not a good path to go down. So to consciously choose willful ignorance over a conscious choice to make a difference in not just your life, but maybe the lives around you, you should choose that. You have to choose that. And that's what I'm choosing. I don't care what anybody thinks. It's not my problem. But I do love you guys. I love you anyway, no matter how fucked up we all are. We're all fucked up. But I love everybody. I love everybody. Everybody's a character to me, and we all interact and have our own things going on, and I fuck with it. But I love you guys. Bye.